that and turn the Mega 65 off. So yeah, the Luma 65. It's just called Luma. I keep calling it Luma 65 because it's on the Mega 65. But that hopefully will be out on Monday, and that's actually the first fully uh, kind of full game, if you like, for the Mega 65. Um, and that will be free as well. That's not there's no cost to use that, but of course you will need a Mega 65 or compatible hardware to do that. So okay, cool. Right, so we're gonna do. I may do a video as well based on what I did to convert this because it may be of use to people wanting to convert their C64 games to Mega 65. So I will. Oh yeah, steps and it's 10K. I will probably do a video of that at some point. Problem is finding the time to do the videos in between everything else. But if I can do it, I will make a video on it. So there you go, steps. There's your bits, your points, and let's start the quiz. Which I haven't even got the panel open for. There we go. There we go. Right. Okay. Right. Let's crack that on back on again. So let's close this down. Hopefully I've got my logs open. Yeah, everything's good. We're looking good. We're good to go. Um, okay, so let's have a look where we were at last time. I can't remember what we'd done last time. I think it was probably the laser, wasn't it? So to figure out what to do next. So oh, I see a little glitch somewhere. Oh, that's right. We had this weird glitch, didn't we? Sometimes we need to figure out why. Okay. It just seems to happen occasionally. With sprite pointers. All right. Is it affected by my position? Yes, it is. Notice how it's more prominent now, and it's only when the thing is cut off. So it's something to do with the cut off that's happening, particularly when I'm down this end of the screen. Okay, so let's take a look at that. See if we can figure that out. So it's probably to do with the way that the sprite pointers are being changed. So we go to layouts and let me up the font size so you guys can see it. So now I'm drinking Copperberg again. It's become my new. Do you know what? I almost added the .cosmos background in, but I didn't get round to it. I was busy helping out with press releases and stuff. Um, so maybe on the next one, it all gets logged into my channel here. So any backgrounds you do request that aren't there this time may appear next time. So, hey, Mr. Color, how you doing? Uh, oh, talk. There you go. Yeah, Andy's gonna promote promote now. Oh, why is that not letting you? Oh, there we go. I was very slow. Maybe it's on a timer. Um, uh, so I was about physical.com for super exciting. Been spamming it where I can. Thank you very much, Mr. Cola. And say there is the prize of the .cosmos exclusive Game Boy Color. By Retro 6, which is up for grabs through the website. Thanks to Bitmap Soft and Retro 6 for arranging that and for sending me one as well. So it's my new prized possession. I'm very, very pleased with that. Okay. looks like, yeah, it's even better in person. It's incredible. I love it. It's I say it's my prized possession. I've got quite a few handhelds. So previously, my prized possession handheld was this thing, which is a GPD Plus, which is a really nice kind of Nintendo style, Nintendo DS style console. But it runs Android, so you can run anything that runs on Android on it, which includes lots of emulators. And I also had this, which is a nice little Pocket Go, which is kind of, you can see how small it is. It's quite a tiny little kind of pocket Game Boy thing. But this is now taken its place as my favorite device now. I'm going to go through my entire Game Boy collection and dig out all the Game Boy Color games and play them all. What else have I got? I've got I've got this thing as well. So this is something I made. So this is just a Raspberry Pi, in a custom case. So custom 3D printed case. It just runs retro. It's just handheld retro Pi basically. That's quite nice as well. And that's it for my handhelds. I've got some PSPs and Vitas as well. Okay, so is that that's not a new one though, that's an existing one. Okay. Yeah, it was a fun little project actually. It's a nice thing to build. I'd love to do one with a Pi Zero now because it'd be a lot smaller. Uh, okay, right, let's have a look. So you see here we're storing frame, store data frame. I think if I don't do that, then we should get rid of the problem. Not alert. But obviously this will get rid of the problem, but it will replace it with just the lines not cutting off. So in order to cut the lines off, we need to put some value into these. So I think the problem is we're using the value 0 here, and that's probably going to be overwritten by character data or some other kind of data that seems to be changing all the time. Oh, my 3D printer stuff open for some reason. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just designate. I've got to find the right folder now. There we go. There we go. So there's this one here, which is an all black kind of filled in sprite. You can see that if I change the color of it, it's completely filled in. So that's no good because actually, would that appear behind or in front? I think it would appear. I can't work out if this appears behind or in front. Let's have a look when it pause it here. It does go behind actually, so that might look all right. I'll try that value there. Where is that? Is that at D0 maybe? Not there. Not there. Where do I put the assets? I'm terrible with this. My organization of things is kind of a bit terrible. Assets maybe? No. Asset export. Can't be that one, surely. No. Is it just in game loader? Maybe it's in the game loader. Yeah, there we go. So it's at D00. So let me try changing that to 40 instead. See what happens. I just found the wife's stash of chocolate mini eggs. Oh my god! I think. Oh no, I did have an Easter egg this year, but I had it really early. Like as soon as the Easter eggs were available, we bought some and ate them. So I was kind of a bit sad, really. Is that not loading? When was that? Christmas? Yeah, it does seem like quite long ago. Yeah, it does seem like quite long ago. So it probably was around about Christmas or just after. Yeah, I think as soon as the new year comes in, isn't it? They start pushing those. Okay, so that the problem with that is it's now showing in red. So I'd also have to change the color, which I don't want to do. Okay, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to designate one of these sprites to remain blank at all times. And I'm going to designate, well, not that one, because that's that one. I'm going to designate this one here. And I'm going to, because this one is like a temporary thing. So I'm just going to put a little arrow to remind me to leave it blank. I will delete this eventually, but for now it can be just serve as a nice little reminder to leave that blank. So this is 4.7. So put 4.7 in there. Hopefully it should be fine. I really do need to sort the lighting out of my face here. I'm very washed out now. Because I've got too much light to the backdrop, so and the screen gives off quite a lot as well. So I probably need to lower the exposure a little bit or something. Probably. Will that work or will that no? Because that might make the background fade out. I'd have to figure out how to do it. Probably do it with a mask or something. So I'm not very good of the. So somebody typed Helen the other night, and I remember there's a place in I think it's Norway called Hell. Um, Actually, you can't see it because it cuts off on the sign, but Booty Helsinki. No one's discovering new ones. There's quite a few new ones in there. Okay, this looks good now. You can see coming down here doesn't break the things. Okay, so what I want to do next is add well, there's two things we need to add to this laser. I'm going to just do it on this screen for now. There are a few other screens with lasers, but we'll add it on a couple of screens at a later date. But until I get the actual final designs, I can't really do much more. But I need to add the functionality in anyway. So the first one is the way that the lines are constructed. Basically, you have a single line like so, and it's basically copied all the way down at the same gradient. And that creates this long line. That means we only have to draw one sprite. So we draw one sprite and then we just duplicate all the way down the screen with the same gradient. Now, what that means is sometimes when it reaches solid ground, it's a little bit short, which is fine. We can deal with that. You see how it's like 2 pixels out in some cases. Are there any game backgrounds yet? Not retro games. No, there's modern games in there. Retro games really don't lend themselves very well to being zoom backgrounds or green screen backgrounds, unfortunately. But I will. I'm working on an idea to make that work. Um, yeah, so sometimes these lines kind of truncate a little bit early, and you can see this kind of 1 or 2 pixel gap between the floor and the laser. That's fine because it will be covered by a particle effect. But then there's times when it has to extend further, and you can see it goes through here. So let me try and pause it on a bit. See there. See, if I was to remove this sprite and this corner, I don't know if you can see that. It's probably quite hard to see. Let me try and make it a bit bigger. If I was to remove this sprite here, you can see where the kinks are in the where the lines actually where different sprites are used. So if I was to remove this sprite, the line would end here, and that's a good kind of 8 pixels away from the edge there, maybe a few more actually. So unfortunately, that's no good to us as a kind of a sprite to remove, which is how we do most of these. So the second feature I want to add to this laser is the ability to take the last sprite and reposition it. So in this case, we'd move it up by 1, so it was perfectly in line with this, and then we'd move it diagonally up this line until it was the right length, basically. So that's just going to be a new value in. We have a table somewhere, if I remember where it is. No, I don't. Oh, it was this one, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So this is a sprite count. This is how many sprites are shown at each of the different positions. Um, uh, and let's do last sprite X, last sprite offset X, and last sprite offset Y. So for the most part, these are all going to be 0, but there's a couple of places. There's a couple of places like this. This is one, for instance, where we would be moving that sprite back a little bit, and it would just be shoving it up here a little bit so it doesn't, it doesn't go through the scenery like it does here. But it probably doesn't need a lot. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be enough because the rest is hidden behind this. But we have to do that for every position on here, so it's a little bit painful. So it's going to be a little bit slow and time consuming, but we're going to do that very well. We're going to try and do it very quickly now. So uh, PG Albion, yeah. Actually, I just want to put my Game Boy in its wrapper because I don't like it being out. I'm very, very protective of it now. It's my new pride and joy. I need to get a nice case for it actually that I can put it in to protect it. For now, it gets wrapped up in its cellophane and in its bubble wrap, put to one side. Yeah. So while that timer up there is running, the BG command will do absolutely nothing. So it won't even tell you if it's correct or it's incorrect. It will just ignore any BG commands. So until that timer hits 0 and says ready, then the BG command does nothing. So you may have got a correct thing, you may have not. So, and only one guess is allowed as well. So it's the first person to type something in when that hits ready gets the guess, and that's to kind of prevent people from spamming the chat too much. So, you bed sexy lady. uh, love it. That's a Freudian slip through text, if that's even a possible thing. I just keep an eye on my texts stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right. So let's go ahead and kind of implement this. So first of all, let's start by doing a very simple test. Let's fill this X position in with a negative number. So let's do negative 16, and we'll fill this in with however many this is. God, how many is this? Max offsets, he relays offset. Max offsets. There we go. And we'll do the Y. We'll keep the Y the same for now. So I just want to test that this is working. So this is just going to apply these values. We also need to record the original values here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these original, it's just the Y values. The X values are automatically calculated, but the Y values will need to be replaced. So so let's take sprite Y values, put these into this array here. And this just means that if a sprite is being drawn on the screen and doesn't have an offset, it can be drawn at the correct position, which we should be doing every single frame really now. So it just means when we set the X position, we also need to grab this value and set this, so this gets reset properly every frame. So let's find where the X position is set. It's going to be here. Here's where it is. So there's two places where that's set. It's set both in positive and negative here. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's a nice place where I can drop this in. I think I can probably do it at the end of this routine. There is a draw line routine here, but this needs to draw each individual sprite as we go down the list. So there's also this clear line as well, but this is just clearing one sprite, so it's not that. Is this doing every single sprite? Is this to figure out if yes, it's indexing with X here as well. So okay, so what we can do here is we can just go through we can just go through the list and load the sprites y values, comma y, and store that at multiplex data y pos, comma x, increase y. So it's just another loop that we're doing here. So let's just put a little note in here that resets the Y values. So if I run this now, this shouldn't change anything. We should see the same thing happening. So let's just verify that quickly. I will say as well that my experience with Bitmap Soft has been really, really good. I would definitely recommend anybody who's developing for any platform at all, not just Commodore, to contact Bitmasoft. They've been really good. Their attention to detail has been incredible. Their passion for the systems is really shines as well. Really shows through in the work that they do. For instance, I want to do a Nintendo game. Probably after this year, once Mega 65 competitions have died down and stuff, I want to do a Nintendo game, a NES game, and I'll absolutely be looking towards Bitmapsoft to handle that, because I'm just really happy with the way they've dealt with stuff. And just to give Bitmapsoft a massive library of platforms that they've got games on. So having real problems trying to pay on Bitmapsoft at the moment. Not sure why. Have a word with Jamie. I don't know if Jamie is still around. If not, you can contact him in the Discord as well. Zappy, MVG Zappy. He might be able to help you out there. If it's any consolation, I had some issues with PayPal on other sites today as well. I haven't tried anything to do the Bitmapsoft site, but I tried to use PayPal today. So I stupidly I bought a synth keyboard, a really nice Casio. Was it Casio CX 5000? Fancy synth keyboard anyway, because I want to start practicing piano again, and I wanted something that was a bit more global. And I had issues with PayPal today, so maybe it's PayPal itself um, rather than anything else. Uh, is that like old and retro? No, it's a fairly new one. I'll show you actually. CT. The reason I'm getting this keyboard is because it's got some. No, that's not it. That's it. CTX 5000. Um, is mainly because it's kind of MIDI and stuff. Um, so this thing here. Um, so it's full MIDI in that, but it's also got the ability to um, record minus 10. It's got the ability to record MIDI tunes as well. So you can the bit in the middle is an arranger sequencer, so you can create a 17-track tune with it. But it also has loads of DSP functions like arpeggios and stuff. So you could technically write a SID tune with this, um, because you could still emulate all the sounds and stuff through the files and the DSP stuff. So yeah, that's and I got it because I want to learn. I had a digital piano for a while, and I want to get back into it again, because I want to learn how to play. So uh, no, way do you have time in the day to learn piano? Don't give me that challenge. I will do it. Sometimes I just sit in bed and watch TV. At that point, I'd probably much be better off just kind of sitting at the putting the keyboard on my lap, firing up the piano smith or whatever it's called, and just learning a few tracks or phrases of things on that. But it'd be really good if I want to branch out into more, especially with things like the snares or the Mega Drive. It'd be handy for that sort of kind of development as well, because then I can kind of create stuff on that and then port it over later. Anyway, let's carry on with this. Just so I get sidetracked by that. Um, what's the news? Oh, let's do it for Warlock as well. Why not? So, GameBoy.com's is now available for pre-order. Um, this is the box art. Andy has spammed the link there. So the box art's been done by Simon Phipps, who did Rick Dangerous, both the cover art and the game itself. It's available for pre-order. There is a code in the message that Andy's just spammed that gives you £7 off the pre-order. And there is a competition to win one of these, which is an exclusive Dot Cosmos branded Game Boy Color with a brand new IPS backlit LCD, which is not going to turn on now because I've not turned it on. So you can see backlit LCD, which is all looking weird because the green screen. Um, Brand new shell with a printed case as well, like the proper screen printed or whatever you would call that kind of printing, where they printed the actual design from the box onto the Game Boy. Um, and yeah, that's there's four of these in existence. And I have one, Jamie has one, Darren has one, and then there's one more which is going out to a lucky winner, which you can join on the website. So no, the Game Boy Color is not backlit, so this is it's worth about £230 roughly, um, because it's professionally refurbished by a company which specializes in refurbishing these things. Comes in a nice little box with them. You get a little key ring as well with it. Where is it? Little kind of retro 6 key ring that comes with it. Um, and they've done an amazing job. It looks incredible. So yeah, the Game Boy Color was not backlit. Neither was the Game Boy Advance up until the very last versions of it started coming with backlit. Well, actually, they were kind of side lit screens. They were more like front lit rather than backlit. Had like light panels down one side. I don't think there was ever an IPS backlit screen for it. I might be wrong though. Um, but yeah, that's the main news there. Yeah. BD Turku. Oh, that's not a bad shout. I've been there. Turku. I've been there as well. I took a ferry from Turku to Stockholm, with Nightwish on board. It just went out towards Stockholm, turned around at Stockholm, and came back. There you go. Anyway, let's crack on. So we're setting the YPOS here, but then there's this bit here where we set the collision stuff. So this is a point at which we decide calculate the first number to hide, basically. And this is where we hide the first value. So at this point, we need to also transfer that to the Y register. The reason I'm transferring it to the Y register is because I'm going to grab it again at this point here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease it by 1. So shift the last sprite. And now we can grab the multiplayer data frame, turn that to XPOS, Y. me think about how this works backwards. Hang on, if that was. If I'm at 03 and I add. Okay. Okay, so I need to do two separate things here. So first of all, I need to load the accumulator with our offsets. Let's do that here. That's right, offset X, and this needs to be this one here. Oh no, this one here. Sorry. Oh, so we kind of do need that Y there. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push the accumulator onto start. I'm going to leave that Y alone and use that instead. And instead, I'm going to pull from the accumulator and transfer that to the X register. Use that. Then here, I grab last sprite offset X, comma Y. If that's negative, go to neg. Otherwise, we use pos here. Positive wise, we just take that value and we add this to it. The reason why we need to do pos and neg here is because we've got more than 8-bit. We've got a 9-bit value. So in order to carry that over properly, we need to have two slightly different routines. So so I didn't ever drive kart, so I can test this game. Oh, awesome, great. Can you send me that exact message through Discord so I can because I'm keeping track of people in Discord. So if you send me that exact message to a DM in Discord, I will send you a copy to test on probably Sunday, I think it will be. Thank you very much. uh uh I hope there's a digital download for doc. That's a very good point, actually. I'll have a word with Zappy about maybe doing a digital version of it as well, or I can probably do that myself through itch.io actually. So I'll wait till the pre-orders are finished, because I don't want to. I can't really release it anyway until it's complete. So, but I'll probably do an itch.io digital version just after release as well. But I'm not going to do it until maybe a week or two after release. So. On the other hand, Warlock, I think you're testing as well, so you'll be able to play it ahead of time anyway. But yeah, I will do it. I'll probably do a digital version as well. So okay, so that takes that value, and then we just need to add 0 to the MSB. Yeah, I'm kind of I was toying with the idea of doing various platforms, but working with Betmapsoft and this has actually convinced me that I want to do more platforms. So I'd really like to do a NES game, but I'd also really like to do a SNES and a Mega Drive game as well. And I'm thinking Perseus might be the one to do it on. GB emulator on your phone, yeah, it probably would work. Yeah. Um, so I'm thinking maybe once Perseus is done for the Mega 65, I may do a version for the SNES and the Mega Drive as well. Just to kind of show the power of the Mega 65 as well, really, because it probably won't be as it probably won't be as good looking on both of those machines. It won't have the multi-layer parallax background, at least not to the extent that they will be on the Mega 65 anyway. Okay, so this is also addition here, but now what we need to do, because we're subtracting, which is we basically need to if the carry is set, we skip over this. Because the carry is set, we don't need to do this. Otherwise, what we need to do is we do need to set it, and then we need to subtract 1 from it here. Actually, can I just do? Hang on. No, yeah, it would have to be like that. Okay. Right. Hopefully, what this will do now is it's going to offset that last sprite by a little bit, and then we can start adding actual values into that list and hopefully figure out where the hell it goes, which we'll do through the debugger, same as we did last time. It's easy to change things. Huh? Oh yes, thank you. I'll give you 5 points for that. The whole chat gets one guess every 3 minutes. There's no there's no timer per person. It's just no, I hadn't checked it actually. That was good find. I would have found it, but Andy beat me to it, so I will give him points for that. Millennium Falcon, we know attack. Well, the more you ask for things that aren't there, the more they appear in this list. And I will take some from that list and put them in. So why did that not load? Oh, because I didn't put all the things in. Right. So I need that. Laser sprite offset X. I missed that one there. Yeah, one person. There we go. This will run in a minute. Ah, Liverpool. Yeah. Listen, what did I miss? Oh, plus done. What have I done now? I've broken something else. God, what am I doing here? Okay, distracted, but oh, am I loading the? I'm loading the wrong file. No, hang on. What the hell? That should be working. Have I broken something? Oh, there we go. Is Jamie from Bitmapsoft Zappy on Discord? Yes, that is right. Yeah. He didn't give you any for the last one, Andy. It seems I gave. Oh no, I was that what the I'd already checked that one anyway. So okay, there doesn't seem to be an offset on the sprite at all. So the last sprite should be offset by a little bit, but it's not being offset. So I need to figure out why that is. So that should be here. Oh, because we need to decrease that by one there. There we go. Okay, yeah. So the way it works, Warlock, is there are 150 or so backgrounds. I will add more at all times. After each stream, I will add additional ones. I don't tell you the names of any of them. That's down to you to figure out. You can use shimmer shillings to just discover one, a random undiscovered background. Costs 750 shimmer shillings, and it will just pick one at random and display it. Or you can type every 3 minutes. You can type BG something or other, and it will if it exists, it will show it you. There's no way to find out the list of the ones that have already been discovered. You just have to remember as a kind of incentive to kind of remember each stream and kind of those who are around longer will know more and so on and so on. How do you change the foreground? Oh, that's mean. You want to change me? Oh, I'll rewatch all the streams. Yeah. Um, I think the foreground is stuck. Oh, I'm trying to catch it with. Oh yeah, I'm stuck, aren't I? Oh no, I'm not. God, I was looking at. God damn it! You trolled me into looking at that. Oh man. So, oh, steps. Okay, so it seems to be shifting this sprite perfectly, which is what we want. No, it's not going to do it all the time. It's only going to do it when there is. Actually, is it going to? No, it wouldn't do it all the time because if it's the very last sprite, it would do it. So now we need to go through and we need to change these values based on where they are. So we'll do this through the debugger. Which means I need to remember where everything is in the debugger again because I've completely forgotten. So we need to look up, first of all, I need to stop the laser from moving, which is this thing here, this laser arc, and I need to handle that myself. So I'm just going to get rid of that there for now. It's a temporary. And then I need to find these in memory. So to get my pad and pen. Yeah, that's where we did it last time. Laser arc index. Get rid of the regex. It should find it in all the files. I don't know why I only found it in that one. Let's try again. Build it. Huh, okay. Don't know why, but it's not giving me that file for some reason. I have no idea where that is then. Oh, do I have to? I have to do the. Wait, no, that's not right. It's my files. Thank you for the message, Great Defender. It will probably be 7 to 12 days. No problem. I'm going to hand out the image to about 4 or 5 people on Sunday, and it's about a month or so to test. It'll be a very specific version as well, with like loads of lives and a little kind of map counter in the corner, so you can report bugs kind of efficiently to me. And for some reason, I can't find the right files to do this. That's a little bit annoying. What's that file? There it is. Okay, just find out where the hell this is going. So it should be in this folder. Okay, that's not it. That's the debug. It's that one. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I search, does it find it? There we go. 4C1D. So that's actually not quite the same. It's moved a little bit. So is arc index. Okay, so that's this part here. And now we need to know. Okay, laser arc is that therefore at 4C1E. So we'll be able to see that being red. And then last sprite offset X is the other one we need to know. So this is the first thing we're going to do. That's going to be at 4D and 4D7C. Okay. So let's apply the Y positioning as well, and then hopefully we should be able to go and edit all this quite easily. So we're applying the sprites here. The Y position is always going to be a negative value anyway, so I don't really need to do anything. Plus it's 8-bit, so again, still don't need to do anything here. So all I really need to do is copy this part. Might as well make it subtraction here and just do it now, so it makes my one step slightly less in the calculation in my head. Change this to YPOS, YPOS. There we go. Right. So if I build this, there we go. It's built. And now I should be able to go into here. And I should be able to change things as we move along. So first of all, why is that not working? Let's give it a reset. There we go. Okay, so you can see what it's trying to do here now. It's trying to move that that sprite along. And I can actually, if I got a slightly better view, this isn't the best view for this, is it? Let's go for not that one. It needs to be one with. That's a good one, I guess. Could do with the sprite overlays off. So you see, there's a little bit of a jitter as this goes round, which is a bit of a worry, because it's not quite sure which one to change here. So probably have to fix that issue as well first. So let's take a quick look at that in the real thing. So this should only be changing the last sprite, and it should be doing it every frame, but it seems to be occasionally skipping it due to the mace going round. So the line is paused now at a position, and yeah, you can see as the mace goes round, it kind of jitters. And it shouldn't be doing that. Actually, it doesn't seem to be related to the mace. It just seems to be missing a frame every now and again, which could be down to timings, maybe. But it definitely shouldn't be. It shouldn't be skipping like that. It should just constantly be over here. But occasionally it's flicking back to the right position. So let's just have a look where we're at on here. So none of these values are going to change when the line is static. So unless the Y changes somehow, which it doesn't look like it does here. Oh, there is an RTS here. Let's put a. Yeah, see, there is a push here for the. Huh, okay. So laser out index 0, which should be well, let's have a look how many sprites we've got. Actually, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sprites, and that matches our list in here somewhere. Where is it? Here, 4. Yeah. So we would expect this to never be hit at this point. In fact, let's confirm that by putting an ink. So if this is getting hit, then it will freeze and the border will go crazy. But I don't think it is. I'm just going to confirm that. What's we on? Tatooine. Oh, what have I done there? Process tried to write to a non-existent pipe. Okay. Never seen that before. I think I may have just crashed the Java thing. Uh, oh no, it did write for some reason. Okay, that was weird. Can't explain that. Don't know what went on there. There we go. We're up and running. Game is on. Let's go into the game. That's not Windows. That's Java. I saw the most hilarious pro Apple review the other day. It was going on about the M1 chip, going, "Oh look, the M1 is almost as good as the 11900K from Intel." So it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Then a few things dawned on me. One, the 11900K is possibly the worst chip Intel has released in about 10 years, with the 10900K beating it and pretty much every AMD chip beating it. And two, it only beat it. It didn't. First of all, it didn't beat it. It was close to it uh, on single core. On multi core, everything else beat it. So I just thought it was kind of hilarious. So they were championing this M1 chip like it's like the most amazing thing. I think it will be. I just don't think it's going to be this generation. I think it's going to take 2 or 3 generations. But give it by the time it's the M3 or whatever they want to call it. Um, I think it will definitely be up there. It's just not quite ready yet. And I mean, it's not going to be. Intel and AMD have had a long time to kind of to optimize their platforms for the stuff that's out there. But in terms of power consumption, it kicks the crap out of them. That's I think where it's going to benefit the most. It is going to increase battery life immensely on devices. Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of why, because they have all that baggage, and it does mean they are very very power hungry. Where does fast single core performance benefit the most these days? Um, Depends really. Depends what you're doing. To be honest, games is probably the one where the single core is still probably the best thing to have. Um, but that's kind of changing a lot. Um, it's changing a lot with the way that games are written, especially with the consoles being the way they are now. That's kind of changing. So, uh, OSX is code optim. Yeah, that is kind of. I mean, I think it's the right move. I do. I kind of resisting it, and I hate to admit it, but I think it is the right move. Um, I just think it's going to be a long time before enthusiast and power users are going to be happy with an ARM chip, because I'll be honest with you, I don't give a shit if my PC uses 3000 watts when I turn it on, or it uses 300 watts. I don't give a crap. I'm not trying to run it off battery. I'm not trying to be power efficient with it. I just want power out of it. And I'm sorry, an ARM chip is not going to go anywhere near this thing. Um, and so for those kind of enthusiast level, it's going to be a while um, before that changes anything. I'm killing the planet. Do you know what I say to people who tell me that? Fuck off into your SUV or your 4x4, which I don't use, by the way, and let's see who does the most damage to the environment. I don't. Yeah, yeah. Basically, I don't drive, so anybody who gets in a freaking car and drives has got no right to talk to me about anything. Uh, my 1000 watts is nothing compared to your gas guzzling 4x4. It's the same people as well. It's the stupid hipsters that go to drive 400 meters, drive 400 meters to yoga in their SUVs, are completely vegan, and they complain about the planet. So yeah, I'm all for respecting nature and stuff. I just think people are hypocrites. I think it's ridiculous. Like, also you've got the royal family, and I don't give a shit about the royal family, but it just annoys me when they're in the news for kind of, oh, look, they're promoting kind of clean air for the earth and stuff, yet they're jetting around in private jets. So it's like, no, No, that's not. No, no, no. You can't say stuff like that. You can't jet to 10 different countries in a private jet and talk about saving the earth. No, sorry. Also, I don't give a shit who you are. You're just a nobody who just happens to have looked into money from birth. So, yeah. I just think people are very hypocritical when it comes to saving the planet. They save the planet. They want to save the planet so they can tell others to save the planet, while doing stuff themselves, which is bad for the planet. So, and there's very few people that don't do something to harm the planet. So I think my 1600-watt computer is nothing really to people who drive cars and stuff. So yeah, and that's the thing as well. When it comes to individuals, there's very little that we can really do. It's the big corporations and the governments that need to make the changes. Unfortunately, you know, if I recycle twice as hard, or I use everything in energy saving mode, and do my bit to say it's going to have such a minor drop in the ocean, compare yeah, oh, it's because I use a plastic straw, so I have to endure drinking with a freaking paper straw, which destroys itself within 3 minutes of being put into liquid. um, or because some corporations decided they want to carry on pumping, to burning plastic and pumping it into the environment because they're just selfish bastards. I think governments and corporations need to look at themselves before we start dealing with the public having to do much. Corporations are very good at passing the blame on to everybody else. No, no. God damn it, mate. I keep forgetting to recharge this damn thing. I don't like that background. I'm sure it's missing some detail or something. I think it may have green screened the background or something. I don't know. Doesn't seem right anyway. Yeah, this is the other thing as well. They banned kind of single use plastic bags as much as possible here. But all that means people are doing now is they're buying bag for lives, right? Which just means you're buying a bag that's 10 times thicker than a normal carrier bag, but you're still using them like you would do the single use bag. So you basically you're paying money to somebody for a bag now, so they're making money off that bag, and you're still treating it like a disposable bag anyway. So you've now got bags that are the same number of bags, but they're now 10 times thicker, being thrown all over the place. So show the royal family deserves to fly around in private jets. So otherwise, why would we keep? No, they don't. This is the thing. They don't. I mean, they do very little. I mean, I'm sure there's an argument for the tourism and the kind of history and stuff, but they should they should be self-supported. We shouldn't be paying them to do these things. Hey Plexum, thank you for the follow. Thanks Warlock for the reminder. Anyway, let's crack on. I'm getting sidetracked. We're going on a political rant here now. Uh, there's always the argument of security. Um, yeah. If it inside of alien spaceship instead. Tell me about your solder station. No. Okay, my command. Thanks for joining. Okay, so why are we only seeing uh, some frames? Why is it flicking on some frames and not on others? Is it a timing issue? I don't think it's a timing issue because we would probably see other ones kind of displayed weirdly, but for some reason this one kind of flickers around over here. Um, let's actually increase the border at this point, just so we can see where it's happening, because this will give us an idea if the timing could be breaking it. I don't think it is, but if it's close, then it could be. But as I said, I don't think it is going to be. Yeah, see, it's not because there's no dividing line anywhere on that screen, so it's happening up in the border. So it's not a timing thing. So that would imply that this isn't happening every frame. Um, which means something here is wrong. This is not happening, so that's not happening every frame. So it has to be something to do with this. Laser arc index should not be changing, which is not because the value is static. We fixed that there. We don't do anything with the Y register around here. Thanks to the resub, Sean. Appreciate it, man. Oh, Elite Dangerous. That's a good idea. All goes into my little side. So I keep a record, as I say, of all the backgrounds that you guys request that don't exist. So they may eventually appear either on the next stream. So if you did request something on the last stream and it wasn't there, try again now. You may be surprised it may be there now. Santa. This is weird. Why? What is changing here? So we get into this. The carry flag is always clear at this point because this has happened, so this has to be clear. We push something into the register. We push the accumulator into the register, pull it back here. So nothing has changed there. This value. Oh, is that value changing? Maybe. Okay, let's try storing that value in the border. So now if the border stays the same color, we know this is working correctly. If it changes color, then if it flashes a different color, then we know. Hull. Yeah, there's some random shit in there as well. There you go. Hull. I think you can just about. Oh no, you can't actually. That's not the Humber. Is it? That's something else. So that's the River Humber, but I don't know what. You can't believe you paid for. uh it changed immediately. Oh yeah, if you pay for one, it will immediately replace the background with that. Okay, yeah. So the border is the same color, so that means this value is not changing. So the accumulator is fine, which means the X register is fine here. So then the question is at what point does the border, like, are we? Huh. Is this collision happening every frame? Surely it must be happening every frame. Draw collision. Ah, frame time and one, but it's not equal here. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. So it's updating all the time and see if that makes a difference. Hull is only one letter away from hell. No, it's not the X it's changing because I set this in the border. What's happening is one of these is not happening every frame, and it should be. So let's try something else, right? Let's store that in the border again. So now we should see brown in the border. Yeah, the coordinate. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, obviously that is what's happening, but I need to figure out why. So what I'm going to do is in this location here, I'm going to set the border to black. So now the border will be set to black and then set to brown by the routine. It should, the whole screen should stay brown the whole time. But I think what might happen is we get the odd black flash now and again, which means it's not. Yeah, see how it's flashing black sometimes, which means that this routine is not being called all the time, possibly. Well, it's not being called because of this. So let's do that. So So that was a bad test. Okay, so no, this is fine as well. You can see the screen is staying brown all the time. I mean, it's flickering down here because that's where we're doing this, but um, it's staying brown on this section, which means that this is getting to this point every single time. So maybe it's this that's failing. So the value should always be negative, right? So let's go ahead and change the way this works. So let's put a value in here of white, and let's put a value of red in this one. Mouse is really knackered today. The new mouse. I think it's all the spamming click buttons on is that the right index Y, not X, on line 102? So look. Well, it must be because it's working. Yeah, that is correct. The reason it's correct is because it has to grab the value from this array here, and that's a Y offset into an array of however many. This is like 50 or something, whereas X is the actual multiplexer offset. So my only other guess is that the multiplexer values are wrong for some reason, just once a frame, but I don't know why. Yeah, I do like the Valheim background. It's one of the nicest backgrounds, actually. Okay, so what I'm trying to check for here is that we're getting the right things on each side. So we're getting red all the time. We're not getting any white. So we're definitely hitting this section, and we're hitting it every single frame, which would imply that something here is wrong. Okay, let's just try hard coding a value here. So let's do Valheim Meadows biome is such a cottage thing. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's kind of nice. I think once I've completed the game, I'm gonna start you because I know there's console commands or something you can put in to get like infinite resources or stuff. I think I'm gonna build a big old city in the meadows. Okay, so you can see even though I'm putting this value in, it is getting reset to here again. It's like once every 7 frames or something it's doing that. So the question is, why is it doing that? If this is being hit every frame, why is the rest of it resetting? So let's think about this. Okay, so it comes into list. Here we go. At the moment, I'm up in the mountains building a like a castle in the mountains, but it's so fucking it's nasty up there. It's really really nasty, right on the top of a bloody mountain as well. So like, I've got to be really careful because I can fall off the freaking mountain and kill myself, which I've done, and that's a nightmare. Trying to run up a mountain half naked. And yeah, it's just evil. It's just evil place. You do compare X is 7. Uh, to find it now. Oh, this is just this. You mean this one here? Compare or compare X to 7. Coruscant. Oh god, that's a good one. So I don't think I'm doing a compare X, but yeah, this is just making sure the longest the laser can be is 7 sprites long. So this is making sure we don't exceed the length of the thing. But that's never been hit. So I did a test here before to see if we were ever getting there, and we never did. So um, huh, okay. I'm losing my place now. Right. So we set a value hard coded in here, but every time we get back to here again, actually, what happens if I just let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all these extra things. God, I keep losing my place. Blah, blah, blah. Get rid of that one there. Get rid of that. I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to go and put it here. But now, obviously, I need to change this to +4. So this is just going to confirm. If I set this manually, it'd be. So, because we've got it open here. That's the right number, actually. It's going to be the wrong number. I'm almost certain of that. But that's fine. Figure out which number it is and then change it. But I feel like something else is set in a position in these lasers, and I'm missing it. Okay, yeah, it wasn't that value anyway. So I need to grab that, which is the first one, and then I need to add 1, 2, 3 to it. So I'll just increase X. So do comma X. Good night, Sean. I may do t-shirts of this design as well because I like it so much as well. I need to get permission from Simon Phipps to use it, but if he's happy with it, I will do some t-shirt designs for these as well because I've been after doing a different t-shirt, and I really want to get that on a t-shirt because I think it's really nice. It's a beautiful piece of art. Yeah, see, look, same issue. Even though I'm setting it here, it's incorrect. Okay, so next thing to do is to use the debugger. I'm going to find where the multiplexer XPOS is, wherever that might be. Which is probably going to be this one, I believe. 43dB. All right. So if we look at this and we try and pause it when that's in the wrong place, so you can see how it's flicking left and right. So let's try and pause it. So there it's in the correct position. So let's go to 43dB. And we should see that one of these is actually let me restart so I get the 30. So it's thing. Okay, so you see how it's correct over there. So let's pause it. It's correct at this point. So I think it might be to do with this mace. I think if I get rid of the mace, it may stop. It could be to do with multiplexer sorting or something like that. But let's confirm that theory by just having a look at the list here. So you can see this is the one that's been changed, 3.0. And so now I want to unpause it and see if I can pause it when it's in the wrong place. So there we go, it's in the wrong place. But you can see the value is actually the right value here. So now I'm starting to think it's to do with the multiplexer because the value is correct at this point. Interesting. Okay. In that case, what I want to first do is turn the mace off. Let's see if turning the mace off fixes that issue. I have a feeling it may do. If Doc is 5-1, what are the odds of him winning 4 races in a row? Well, it's 20% to the power of 5. So yeah, 125-1. No, more than that, I think. 5 times 5, 25, 125. 500-1. Oh yeah, sorry. Times it by 4. 6. Yeah, 1 in 625. Yeah. But that's not particularly a rare event, really. I mean that will happen if you consider how often we stream. Um, that will happen. Um, I might even add a no, maybe not, because I do have all the race results that have ever happened recorded. I was thinking maybe I could do a form thing. So, all right. So, yeah. So what I want to do is I want to turn off that mace, see if that affects it, because I think the mace is causing issues as it spins around, because it does seem to be in time with that mace, and that would affect the sorting algorithm. I really want to redo. Ugh. Oh my god, so tired. Really want to do that multiplexer again. I'm not happy with it at all. Oh, see, it's still flickering over there though. Interestingly, this one here is appearing as well. See that sprite there? That should not be appearing. Okay, so the mace has got nothing to do with it, but then is it something to do with? Because the values in memory are correct, right? The value is 3.0 in memory, and that's what we're seeing every time when it's on the screen. So 43 dB. So we're just going. Oh god, I keep pressing the wrong things. They look too similar. Kaleidoscope. PG Wigan. I like it. Yeah, so this one keeps appearing, and this one flicks over to here. So when it's not here, it's here. However, if I look at the sprites in here, 46 dB. No, that was the wrong number, wasn't it? 43 dB. Oh no, it is. Look, it's flickering. It's changing. Ah, okay, right. In that case, let's go and have a look. Anytime that is a value other than Wait, that means it's just not doing the offset. That means it's skipping the offset now and again. So it does this bit, and then occasionally decides it doesn't need to do the offset. Ah, because of that. Okay. But even if we ignore that, and we just put RTS here. Jesus Christ, this is pull after RTS. Yeah, no, I've already blanked out the push here. Okay. Okay, so the flicker is there. Let's restart this. So it's still flickering. 43 dB. You can see the value in here changing. So let's stick a breakpoint on that. So that's 43 E3. All right. 43 E3. When it's changed to something more than 30, let's go and have a look at where it's been changed. I think it's just going to be the original code that sets the position up. But we can check if it happens in more than one place, which is what we kind of need to know here. Okay, so the first place is 5325, which is, well, it says it's there, but that's not correct. What? I mean, this is just lying to me now. God, I really am losing the will to code nowadays. I don't know why. Why is that value like that? So the value is correct. We push it over here, but then every other frame or so, it breaks and this doesn't. It writes something different. Yeah, that's a good point, Chroma. So the odds of Doc winning 4 in a row now are 1 in 625. The odds of Doc winning 4 races in a row over the entire stream depend on how many races there are in the stream. So how many chances are there to have 4 in a row? So in other words, if there are 4 races, then the chances are 1 in 625. If there are 5 races, then there are 2 chances there. So it's 2 in 625. So the chances of Doc winning 4 in a row over the course of a stream are the number of races in a stream minus 3 over 625. That's the chance of Doc winning 4 in a row in a stream. God damn it. What is going on here? I don't understand why it would be changing it. Hey, let's try not doing any of this routine. So let's just get rid of this routine completely. Let's put this back, put that back. It's Fluebits running for this. No, I've turned Fluebits off. It wasn't getting used. It was just a waste of money. So I'm going to turn that off. So we're not doing any of the collision stuff anymore, and see if that has an effect on it. Something is having an effect on that position. I swear it's the multiplayer because it does seem to be doing something a little bit odd. But maybe I'm. Oh no! Look. Look at that. Oh no, it is still flickering, but it's way less often. What the fuck? Oh, good shout. You guessed one. Huh. Oh, Microman missed out on his as well. So Microman's the only one who's actually sent me a background. What's the laser sprite on the far left? The laser sprite on the far left is me testing. So what I'm trying to do is set an offset for one of these sprites, so I can adjust the kind of length of the laser without having to draw a new sprite. And so in order to make this work, I have to offset the very last piece in the laser. So that's why I've moved it over here just to test it. But I noticed every now and again it flashes here as well. So you'll see it flash over this side. So it's flashing back to where it is originally supposed to be. I just have no idea why that would be happening. The only thing I can think of is it's something to do with the multiplexer. So the question is the lookup table. It doesn't matter. This I'm not even using the lookup table now. I'm just setting this value to 30, and occasionally it just draws it back here again. And the lookup table is not the values for this column here are correct because it's drawing this in the right place. Nemo's Proton here must be, I guess, somewhere. I don't see him there. Also, interestingly, this is displayed now as well. I don't know why. Yeah, see this one here. This is the problem. This is it should be over here and permanently over here, but it's not. It's flickering over here for some reason. Hey, Proton. So this, I'm going to store the X. So I'm going to store this X value in the border just to confirm that the X value here is correct. I mean, it should be absolutely fine because we're not seeing a different sprite move. We're seeing the same sprite move. So I think this is fine. I just wonder if it may be missing one frame or something. So as long as the border stays a static color, which it is, then we're good. Okay, so that's fine. But then yeah, it just occasionally it just flickers over here, and I have no idea why. I can only guess it's to do with the multiplex. It has to be. So if I don't clear the line, what happens? I mean, that won't. I mean, this isn't going to do anything, right? Something happened in the interrupt. Well, it should be at this point. That's the thing. But there is. This is why I keep thinking the multiplex, and the multiplex is one thing that could be screwing up here. Wait a minute. Maybe it's a multiplexer padding thing. Although look at that, it's not It's not glitching at all now. I got rid of the clear line. Wait, what? That can't be right. This is an update in the laser. Let's just hang around a little bit to see if this. Yeah, it's just going to be timings, isn't it? It is. It's down to timings. It has to be because it's not. It's not failing now. So if it was the multiplexer, wouldn't the swarm have the same issue? Yeah, possibly. Let me just come off this screen and come back. Could also be the initialization of the screen. Yeah, that seems fine actually. So it's not that. Well, it's fine here now. All I did was turn off the clear line, right? And all the clear line is doing is filling in the value here. So maybe not doing that. What would not doing that do? Nothing really. Okay, let's turn the collision one back on again. This is one of those things that is going to turn out to be something really fucking stupid and simple. But because I haven't looked at the code again for 2 weeks, it's starting to bug me that a bit. Okay, so that looks fine. I think it's just a timing thing. I think if I because at the moment I turn that on, it starts to be a problem, right? So I turn that on, starts to become flickery. Um, put the ship up the screen. Right. Yeah, see, it's flickery now. Now the only difference here is where things are happening. So if I put some border color changes in here. So if I just do let's do white. So we can see where all these things are happening, right? This is what gets me because I was of the opinion that these were all happening up in the border, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're happening in a weird place, or maybe it's just the terrible kind of IRQ timings are not tight enough. So, see, yeah, they're all happening down here. So they're not even happening over this area here, but it could be that it just happens to be the IRQ happens to be firing a little bit too early. So if I go into the multiplexer and just make some small changes, so which one is it? This one, I think. No, it wasn't that one. Damn it, it was the other one. Wait, that seems a bit high though. Because the reason I'm thinking this is because what might be happening is that it's relying on the IRQ to move the sprite to a certain position. No, because it shouldn't affect it. It shouldn't affect it because it's not happening during the raster line that actually changes it. It shouldn't have any effect on it. It's all happening down here. So maybe it's a sort thing. Maybe the sort's happening at the wrong time. God damn it! It's bugging me because I know it's going to be something really really stupid, and it's going to be a timing thing. Absolutely, it's going to be a timing thing. So we've got screen updates which happen kind of early on. Is it this one? No. Maybe it is that one actually. If I turn that off, what happens? It is the same sprite. You can see that in the debugger. It's definitely the same sprite. But I'll do it. I'll do that again just to verify. That's not a bad idea. But I swear I've just checked that. But I'll do it again anyway. Yeah, spaces were causing a problem. I've fixed that though now. They should be fine now. It's not even static, it's wobbling. Okay, so that is the update. So that's the screen update. So let's turn that back on again. I think it's just the timing of this. I think this is happening at the wrong point for some reason. Or it just happens to be because of where the multiplexer IRQ sort is happening. I could maybe put the sort in here instead, which would get rid of that because it kind of doesn't need to be in the IRQ really. But let's just color this laser just to verify that problem. So going to do the same thing here. We're just going to store. Going to make it cyan color and change it like that. There we go. I mean, it makes sense that it would be the right sprite because it's being pushed into the original position. It's just like every now and again it skips the code that should be changing its position, except it's never actually skipping the code. But because there's a disconnect between changing the multiplexer value and what actually gets drawn to the screen at that point, which is making me think it's a timing thing. Because it's not we're not changing direct hardware values, we're changing what the fuck? Now the color isn't changing. Okay, now that is confusing. Wait, are we wait a minute, we're changing the color. Okay, well that gives us some information. Possibly we need to see because I'm still not convinced it's a different sprite. I don't think it isn't. I don't think it is. I think what's happening is there is a color set in here somewhere as well. Yeah, see, we're setting the colors here as well. So there's no. What's happening is before it gets to this point, the position is being drawn to the screen. This is happening at the wrong time. So just hang on because I don't think this is I don't think this is entirely accurate. Um, so why would it not run that particular piece of code? What would stop it from doing that, or mean that the line that it draws? Hang on. What if I move? What if I move this to here instead? What if I do that first? Because it is the same sprite. I don't think you're. I don't. I mean, it's a good test, but the problem is we set the colors we set the colors every frame anyway. So what it's revealed really is that the code that positions this. See now that's even weirder now because now it's flickering here and here. Just get rid of the draw collision. Oh, man, I'm not having fun with code at the moment. Everything seems to be buggy at the moment, which I don't know why. Okay. Okay, so we're back to the same problem that no matter where we do this, it's too late at that time. Yet if I don't do clear line, it's fine. That's the fucking irritating thing about it. Like if I don't do that line there, if I just get rid of that line. Never an issue. Okay, I've got another plan. Let's try putting that back in. Put this down here. But this time we're gonna make this here instead of down here. So this will happen every frame. If this works, I can't fully explain it. No, it doesn't anyway. So, oh, god damn it! What is going on? So this routine, not that routine. Sorry, this routine sometimes just causes a glitch. But why? Let's get rid of these border changes. Just that one thing. Why would that one thing cause a glitch here? Well, more importantly, cause a glitch here. Let's get rid of the border color change there. I gotta waste so much time on such a stupid little bit. It's really disheartening at the moment. I'm really not enjoying the streams when they're like this. This reminds me of space. I said this last time, didn't I? It just reminds me of space whenever I hear it. Huh. Why would calling this routine here cause this not to apply? So we're using the accumulator, which we're setting. We're grabbing the base index, corrupting values in AOY. But I mean, look here. Here's the draw line, right? The first thing draw line does is load A, X, and Y. So that's fine. This uses A and Y before this, so those two are fine. Draw collision takes no values in. It is. Load X, load accumulator, and transfer value to Y. So these have no effect on each other in terms of the registers. The only thing that happens is base index. Maybe base index is changing for some reason, but no, it's not, because I've tested that as well. So hey, there's my commands. But for some weird reason, if I turn that off, then the jitter goes away. FC100 is the sprite that we draw to. It's the 63 bytes, sorry, that make up the sprite that we're drawing, the laser sprite. So it needs to be cleared whenever you go to draw the next frame, right? So you have to clear it. Um, There's nothing worse than bugs like this. It makes no sense whatsoever. But clearing that stops this from breaking somehow. Okay, so let's try something else now. Let's leave that in there and go ahead and do this. So now we're actually going to increment that every frame. Batman Robin, the original as well. I was all excited about kind of doing this stream tonight. Everything was planned in my head. It was going to be pretty easy. Just one sprite. It's just a single sprite. You can see it's the same sprite shared, right? So now I'm not clearing it. What's happening is it's drawing this pattern basically. And other than the fact that this sprite flicks between the two screens because the MSB is set here, everything seems to be okay here. You know, we're not seeing any flickering sprite in the middle, so this sprite is not appearing anywhere. I mean, it's flickering over here because the MSB, but no, it clears 3F bytes, the length of a sprite. It's just clearing this sprite, basically. Not the pointers, no. Yeah, no worries. But when I turn it off, it just works. Do not know why. I'm going to turn it on. We get jitter. Does the plexer cache its values at some point before it does the sort? So the sorted values, it's only sorting indexes. It doesn't sort any other stuff. BG Spider OH Sam doesn't like that Marvel stuff. That doesn't mean I won't put that sort of stuff in, but I can't remember if I have. I don't think I have, but so the only thing it's sorting is the indexes. But this is the problem. Part of me wants to think it's the plexer because of the nature of the kind of flicker, right? The way it kind of flickers the way it does. But what's really, really confusing is if we don't do this routine here, it's absolutely fine, right? Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to try now. I'm going to try clearing less. I'm going to clear half of a sprite, see what happens. See if it is if it is literally just about how long this routine is taking to clear the sprite. I mean, it shouldn't be because it's happening in the border, right? But if that's the case, what we might start doing is just try moving some stuff around a little bit, and see if changing the position that this actually happens in has an effect. Because it could just be happening too soon, if you like, or too late, or it could just be happening at the wrong point. You see, look, I'm only clearing half of the sprite, and it works fine. Actually, did I actually turn the clear line 1F? Yeah, it's turned back on. So let's try 2F. So let's do three-quarters of the sprite. It's gonna be freaking multiplexer timings. It is. And it's not gonna it's gonna be to do with the sort routine. It is definitely gonna be to do with the sort routine. Again, not an issue. See, it's fine. The moment I do the last one, well, it's happening at the bottom of the screen. That's the annoying thing. But I think the problem is that the raster sort is happening in an IRQ, and some of the laser stuff is happening outside of an IRQ. So there may be some kind of interlacing of what's happening with the values. So I'm going to try in a minute to just move the sort out of that routine and put it at the beginning of the frame code stuff. It may solve the issues a little bit there by forcing the sorts to happen before anything else. Um, yeah, see, look, now it's flickering because we're clearing too much. So let's try moving the sort out. So the multiplexer has a sort in here, and that sort. In fact, where is that call from? Let's find out. Multiplexer.sort. So that's happening in here. Multiplex entry. Okay. So this is where the multiplexer comes in and does the initial part, and then it starts storing. Okay, so this is in the IRQ. So let's move that now. Let's take the sort out because the sort is probably fine to do as long as it's happening in the border. We can probably do it down here like so. That's going to take some pressure off the IRQ, which is hopefully going to release the timings a little bit more, and it's also going to guarantee that the sort happens before any of the map updates, rather than potentially being interweaved. But I would have thought it would have been interweaved. It would have been a very strange place for that to be causing problems. But let's try it there anyway. It won't hurt to move it there temporarily. We may even get better sorting. No. Still getting issues. Okay, so now if I was to move that to say after, I mean, it wouldn't be the right place to do it, but let's just move it to after it anyway, just to see what happens. The other thing as well is the sort is it's using like an ocean sort. So basically, once the sprites have been ordered, as long as the sprites don't change position vertically, then the order of sprites should change. In fact, we can check that in the debugger as well to check that the order of sprites doesn't change. So, um, yeah. Oh, interesting. Now it's not a problem, but you can see they're flashing. Huh. Could it just be the timing of the frame? So that's by moving the sorts after the update here. I mean, obviously this is bad. We don't want that to be the case here at all. So now I'm wondering if I can just change this frame timer thing. Uh, frame ready flag, sorry. So that will be being set in the IRQ here. Okay. It's set right at the end of this set next sprite split. Okay. Multiplexer set next sprite split. See what's this value? Investigate the value here. Okay, that's a suspicious thing, isn't it? So let's go and put this back. And subtract 3 from it instead. Because I think this is another padding value that we've implemented for the sprite splits. All I know is I'm really fucking tired of this now. I think I need a stream soon where I just play Battlefield and just go around shooting people for 5 hours. Take my anger out on somebody. I feel really angry all the time now. It's not good. It's not healthy, man. PT Battlefield, yeah. Oh, did I? Oh, I didn't. Or did I? I did because it would have appeared, right? It is to. It's fucking to do with the multiplexer. This is so irritating. I should have just wrote a fresh one. I should have written a fresh one. No, it's fine. Different hardware sprite number. No, it's like I said. It's using the same sprite number. It's not. It's nothing to do with that. If I get rid of the color change in here, not that one there. Where is it? To answer Proton, what's wrong with the Mux is I've basically taken one that was custom built for Parasol Stars. I've dropped it into here, and it's not quite doing the job properly. I personally think I should just redo it. It's probably the safest bet. So let's just get rid of those there and there. And I could have probably done it by now. I would have not wasted quite so much time fucking around with this as I have, and instead would have something working. What have I done there? There we go. And you let the dogs out. That answers that famous pop question. So you can see there, now I'm not adding that color in. You can see the only one that's got this color sign is this one sprite. And you can see, actually, it's been put in a couple of places here. Look, it's good. Sometimes it's appearing here as well. This is definitely to do with the sort. Definitely to do with the sort. And to do with the plexer in general, actually, because what it's doing is it's occasionally putting it where this one is, which is this position here. Yeah, my problem is that it's X position change, but not it's Y. Yeah, because the X position is the only one I'm actually applying an offset to. This one here, just for testing. The problem is I feel somewhat kind of committed to some of these things now, and that's kind of frustrating because that leaves me in a situation where I've committed to these things. I can't not do them, but I may have to just kind of pause things for a while and do the things I enjoy and come back to these things because I'm starting to get really frustrated. Like to be honest, I got frustrated with the Mega 65 at the weekend as well. So yeah, it's just I just kind of I think I'm losing the kind of the patience that I've had for what 21 months now. So I think it's starting to kind of wear a bit thin on me. I just need to maybe take a break for a week or two. But I'm not gonna stop streaming. That's gonna continue, and I'm not gonna stop doing the competitions and stuff. I still want to do all those. Is the Muxa fully dynamic? To be honest, Proton, I wrote it 3 years ago, so who knows anymore. I thought it was, and it definitely worked absolutely fine in other things, but I think I've hacked into things so many times that I think I've broken it a little bit. Um, it's the thing is none of this is a problem. It just means I'm having to start things again potentially, um, I mean, a multiplexer would take. If I just didn't do it on stream, if I do no distractions, just did it without the stream, it'd take me half an hour, 45 minutes to write something, right? And that's what I should probably do. I should probably do that and make it work, because it seems like this is the issue. Um, is it because of jumping between different projects breaks your flow? It's maybe partly that, but I think the bigger problem is how long it is between things sometimes. Uh, you don't realize how much for it. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to stream. You guys keep me absolutely sane. This is. I'm just having a bad 2 weeks. I think that's all. It will pass. It's just one of these things. I've already considered doing the Acme thing, not 24/7, but I've considered streaming more frequently as a way to get through these issues. But plus, not only that, I kind of enjoy streaming a lot, and I would really like to kind of focus a bit more on doing things, because at the moment I'm doing so many projects that the most I ever get to spend on a project is 1 day a week, right? So it'd be nice to have a couple of projects that I can do like that, but then one project that I just absolutely 100% of my time, 100% of the rest of my time is spent on. So yeah. Uh, Almost. So yeah, this similar thing with this. The thing is, this is a game muxer as well. So this has to deal with kind of unpredictable player input and stuff. So there's even more kind of moving parts to it than a standard muxer. It's not making game multiplexes is a very different task to making a demo multiplexer. Um, uh, but you'll know that from doing general or general dynamic multiplexes. It's you have to be able to cope with any kind of combination of things that might happen, and when you've got player input as well, especially if things are scrolling, it gets even worse. So thankfully this game doesn't scroll, so that's a kind of big weight off my shoulders. But it does have a dynamic cap on the number of sprites as well, which you can change between screens, which is causing some issues, or was, and that's something I shoehorned into it as well. So um, but it seems to be where this sort is happening. So if I do the sort if I do the sort later, it's fine. If I do the sort too soon, then it's a problem, and it's because this takes too much time. Why that's the case, I do not know. Let's try doing the sort right at the end, actually, because oh no, it can't, because the sort has to happen. The sort has to happen before the IRQs that draw the various things, right? So what about if I change the position of the IRQ ever so slightly? Doesn't have to be a lot. Uh, let's have a look. Where would it be? It would be the end of the multiplexer. So main multiplex IRQ entry, which is going to be this value up here, which is not there. Where is that value? Oh, it's in the constants file. Okay, DA. See, why is it DA? That seems like a really kind of random value. But let's say I move it back to D2. Does that suddenly fix it? I think it probably will. Debug, yeah. The problem is as well because of the way that the cartridge, the way it's set up to load from cartridge, means debugging it in the debugger is, uh, yeah. See, that fixes the issue. Okay, okay. It's a timing issue to do with the sorting. I think what's happening. Let me think about this. Yeah, I know what it is. Okay, so what I think is happening is the IQ does a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of things going on in this screen to do with character setups and kind of particles and things like that. So it does a lot of kind of in the border calculation, right? So it does a lot of stuff down here. So the problem is at some point at the bottom of the screen, it starts doing the sort algorithm, and that sort algorithm will probably overflow slightly into the top of the screen. But at the same time, there is a raster which is triggered to draw the first set of sprites on the screen, right? And that's being triggered too soon. So I think what I can probably do is if I put that back to DA so we can see the problem. Uh, yeah, it's just a raster timing. The muxer is fine. It's just the timing of the rasters. That's what it is. It's just so annoying. I've spent basically 2.5 hours. 2 hours because I did show the Game Boy stuff first. Okay, so there's the problem. Now we can fix it by moving the entry for the raster line up the screen a little bit, but then we start doing lots of setup in the kind of bottom portion of the screen, which may affect, you may get kind of flickery stuff at the bottom of the screen. Or the other thing that we can do is we can find where the first entry is. So when we do the multiplex entry, which happens in here, we set up the very first sprites. Oh, set next sprites. Oh yeah, set next sprite split. So we come in here and we look at set the next sprite split, blah, 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 and that's actually grabbing values from the multiplexer data. So if we look at the data, we've got these rasters here. So let's find that and just go and check that in the raster. So that is at 443F. So if I look in here, you see how some of these are on 0? 0, 0, 1895, 1, 1, 1. These need to be moved further down the screen. So instead of happening right here, they need to happen a little bit further down. They're still going to happen in the border, but this is where the new sprites are being drawn. So how could this have been easier to discover? Not sure, to be honest. I think that it would have been easier if I'd have been doing this more frequently, I think. But the problem is that thing is, I don't want to put any of these things down. Right? I want to get them finished. The Saturday project is almost finished. I need to just kind of wrap that up and get it out. And then I can start focusing Saturday on Mega 65, and then this will happen every week. Then because at the moment this is happening every 2 weeks, and this is part of the problem. I think it really just comes down to familiarity with the code, and the fact that I'm kind of doing it every 2 weeks is meaning that I'm losing that familiarity all the time. So the quicker I can get other things finished, and the Game Boy game is pretty much finished. As I said, it's out for pre-order. Check the pre-order link, which I'm going to link in now. There you go. And same with the Saturday game, that's almost finished. So I can start focusing my time a bit more on kind of projects, less projects, more time on less projects. So yeah, the console is freaking awesome. I'm gonna look at it again actually because it's fucking beautiful. I mean, look at that. That's just so sweet. It's just a really nice, really nice job. Properly professionally made as well. That's Bitmapsoft did this. So Bitmapsoft created 4 of these, one for me, one for each of the 2 guys at Bitmapsoft, and a third and a fourth one, which is going to be given away in a competition on the pre-order page. Which is really cool. I mean, this is like 230 pounds worth of refurb job. So it's original Nintendo hardware. They've given it a new shell, a new speaker, an amplifier, new buttons, um, a new backlit IPS screen with a color profile selector. You can use an adapter as well. It's got a little adapter thing on the bottom. I'm using batteries at the moment, but you can. Uh, it's possible to get Dot Cosmos on C64 physical edition. No, there isn't a physical edition for it, but I may be doing it sometime in the future. I may just like go over the map and bring it up to the Game Boy standards and get bitmaps off to release that as well. All right, let's play around with this. Okay, so what's happening is when we do the sort, there's a raster value that's set. That's this value here. And at the moment, what it's doing is it's setting a value of 0 in these raster positions. So if I change that to like 8 or something, hopefully that will set them all to a higher value and prevent the flickering from happening. It might not do though, because I might have the wrong value. Okay, so I think it's not quite that value. I think there's another place. See here is where a value is stored into here. Let's just take a quick look into here. So this is the values that we're looking at in memory. I mean, while we can fix this by doing the 443F, while we can fix this by doing the move the raster up slightly, I think it's probably better to fix the root cause of the problem rather than just keep shuffling the thing up the screen a bit further. See, a lot of the time, the problem with things like this is again, it's familiarity. I think having more focus on the code more often will solve this issue. If I had done this more often, I would be able to visualize the multiplexer in my head a bit easier and be able to work out what I'd done wrong pretty quickly. But my head just, to be honest, my head hasn't really been in the game properly either for a couple of days. I've got some stuff going on at home, which is a bit. It's not for the stream, but it's not anything bad. It's just I need to sort some stuff out. Okay, yeah. So these are the raster values. So these are where the raster splits happen. And the problem is the raster splits are happening too soon in some cases. So these ones here are on 0, 1, and that's the problem. Is that when these are happening, things are and that will include this sprite here because it's in the first 8 sprites on the screen, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is sprite 6 on the screen. Actually, it's sprite 7 because I think there's one. Oh no, there is. It's not there. It's down here. So yeah, six sprites basically, which means you know 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is well actually no because these are not in order. So but yeah, you can see that the splits are happening in the wrong places. So I need to figure out how it's writing 0, 1 and change that value. So let's have a look in the multiplexer. Okay, so when we do the sort, let's put that there. When we do the sort, it just sorts through based on the Y positions. Then we wait, where's the comma Y? Where's the loop for that? Oh, there we go. It's just taking the first position, putting its raster at position. Actually, that should have worked. If I put that at position 8, that should work. But so here is where the new raster positions are put in. So I mean, if I was to just change this, actually, is this sorting? Yeah, this is the sort still. So if I was just to change this and do compare to 1, 0, if it's less, sorry, if it's more, go to here. Otherwise, 0, right? And now if I try and run this, I think this will probably. Are you UK people doing well? Lockdown is apparently going to be loosened in 3 days' time, but all that means is that people are just going to be idiots. congregate in larger groups again and trigger a new lockdown. So lockdown part 3 will happen soon. Although they're saying that we're approaching herd immunity, but I still haven't even had my first jab yet, so God knows. Yeah, there we go. That's actually fixed the issue. Okay, so what this is doing is just forcing the raster to never be less than 0, so less than 10. Um, that fixes the issue. So there you go, an entire freaking stream to add what is comes to 3 lines of freaking code. You've not been asked to have a jab either. Okay. So I do apologize, guys. I've been a miserable fucker for the past week, so I'll try and resolve that somehow. Um, I think lack of sleep is part of it as well. So better than no lines of code. Yeah, I guess so. Uh, yeah, it's weird. Like my son Sean, who's been on here, he's really young, but he works for the NHS. So even though he's not, he's not a doctor or a porter or anything like that, he's an IT kind of technician. But it does mean that he technically may have to go into hospitals and things. So he got both doses very early on. So uh, he spent days on much easier bugs than that. I am very, very grumpy at the moment. I think it is tiredness. I've been very, very, very busy of late. I mean, I've got this week off from work, but that doesn't mean I've had nothing to do. I've been so busy. I've had to go through 56 cassette 50 entries as well and verify them all, and they keep changing as well. So I've got to go back and verify some of them again and work out which ones are the right. It's that's hard work as well. And then I've had to convert all 56 to run from tape as well. So there's a lot of cases where you guys were using clever tricks. As I mean, I shot myself in the foot with this one by giving you guys the options to do this, but it meant that they won't load from tape as they are, so they have to be relocated and then restored back to where they were, sort of thing. Then I've had Luma as well, which I've been doing. Oh, good call on the Miami one there. Well done. It's Miami Beach, which makes me sparkle on my shoulders for some reason. Uh, yeah, but it's no fun. It's no fun watching someone grumpy go on about things. So I should stop moaning about it, really, shouldn't I? Just get on with it. um. Okay, I don't really know what more to do. So play my new keyboard. Yeah, well, I've got to learn to play it first. It's been a long time since I did any lessons. So let's go back to the drawing board and start again. Um, how about a recap what is on my list next? Okay, yeah. So what for this game in general? Just in general, let's go through everything, right? So with regards to Cecconoid, we've got a lot to do on Cecconoid. Um, it's a shame we didn't get around to doing the bit that I wanted to do tonight, but at least now we know what the problem is, and I can kind of figure out from there what to do. So yeah, the next step directly, the very next step for this is to allow the laser, the last beam in the laser, the one colored cyan here, to be shifted back up the laser stack, if you like, so that it's always touching the ground and it's never through the ground. Then the next step after that is to add the particles to it. Then really from there, it's a matter of adding things in that are kind of generic, because really I need the screens from Andy. So that means we can probably add a door in here and the way to turn it on and off there. Same with the door here as well, which will start open, but when you move into this next screen over there, it will. Shit, no, yeah, I can't die. When you move into this screen, it will close behind you. Then there's the whole kind of Robotron section in here, which we can sort out. So there's quite a lot to do on this still. There's a death routine as well. We don't have a death routine. There's also these beams. These are kind of quite generic. The kind of blocking beams. You could put those in place. There's turrets down here. There's a bug here as well where these two seem to fire for some reason. So there's these turrets down here. So there's a lot we can do on this. I just need to kind of get back into the swing of things. I need to be not so disheartened when things don't go well. Sometimes things don't go well. That's just the way things are, right? And I just need to accept that that's not to do with anything other than just bad luck, and I'm just having a bad luck week with these things. Um, so that's it for Cecconoid. This is going to be an ongoing project, probably over the course of another year or so. Will there be Doc and Cecconoid merch? There will be Doc Cosmos t-shirt. So I'm going to get this. I just need permission from Simon Phipps to use it, and then I'm going to get this made into a t-shirt. Just the image, not the whole box sort of thing, but just the background image and then maybe the logo. So that will be a t-shirt, and same as it is with the Praise Be the Spiral thing, it'll just go through the Stream Elements merch store, so it'll be all the same things, but it will just be with that. Obviously on Doc there is going to be a bit of work, so I don't have a lot left to do. It's really just kind of sprucing up, adding a completion in, adding in the music from Steps when he's done with that. Responding to any playtest reports, adding an intro, just kind of general polish really. I've added a couple of little bits of polishing. In fact, I can quickly show you. Let's just take a second to show you one of the things I did. Yeah, Steps is doing the music. So one of the things that was bothering me a little bit is because on the C64 version there are sound effects, but they're very few sound effects. And what I didn't want to do was complicate matters in this game by adding sound effects. So the whole game is music based only, but that means that there's no real indication that you've picked a key up, and because the screens are small, you tend to pick keys up quite often. As soon as you enter the screen. So what I did was added a small animation in. So when you grab the key, there's a little flash around the key. You'll see it in the bottom as I grab this. Don't know if you saw that tiny little flash around the key, just to highlight the fact that you've grabbed a key. And that should make it a little bit more apparent that that's exactly what just happened. Basically, you'll see it again when I go down here. So watch when I grab the key now. See, just a little flash, just to show that you've grabbed a key, just to draw your attention to that bottom of the screen. So that's one of the things I put in there. There's a few other little things. Does the flash set flags? A few other little things I need to do, but generally that game is ready to go. I think another 3 or 4 weeks on that, both on stream and off. And it'll be good to go. As I say, I will pass out versions to test to those who have asked to test it. I think I've got enough people now, so I don't need anybody else. And I'll do that on Sunday. So watch out for your Discord private messages on Sunday. You shall be receiving the Game Boy ROM. It will be a 99 lives ROM, so it will you will be able to complete the game. But I'd like to know how many lives it took you to complete it. You can, if you want to, you just restart the game. If you lose 4 lives, it's up to you how you play it. But I wanted to give people a chance to get all the way through it that are testing it. Then another projects I've got. So Luma 65 is going to come out on Monday. That's pretty much done. I don't have any other code to do to that other than to enable the dual SID music from Richmond Mike. So that will be coming out on Monday, and that's going to be the first kind of complete Mega 65 game. Basically, it's going to be the first kind of Mega 65 full assembly, full kind of uh, what you would deem a kind of a full kind of title release. Because there are games already. You guys did lots of basic games and stuff, but this would be the first one that's kind of a full title release that you would get on disc or whatever. But so that will be coming out for free on Monday. What else have we got? There's Perseus as well. So Perseus is going quite well. This is another one I really want to spend a bit more time on, because I'm worried that I'm not doing quite as much on that as as I wanted. This was me trolling a little bit. So this is Springfield, but this is Springfield, Illinois, the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln. Just to really annoy you. Springfield, Illinois. That's the one. And that's it, really. I don't really have any other projects on the go that I'm willing to pick up just yet. Part of me kind of wants to do a PC game at some point, just to see if I can, but it's probably not going to be something I do on stream. It's probably going to be something I do off stream. I have got a couple of secret projects, but I'm going to keep them secret. So sorry about that. I think that's it, really. I would like to do a NES game, but I'm going to wait till the end of the year. I want to clear up the projects that I'm on. I want to focus my time on the Mega 65 where I can. I want to give it the fighting chance that it deserves to be the machine that I think it can be, because I think it's by far the best modern retro machine. And my only concern with it is it's probably got price going against it. But the reason why is because it's such a superior machine in almost every way. It's better than the Commander 16 and the Spectrum Next. Be that the build quality and the things like the keyboard and stuff like that. The fact that it's got a built-in disk drive. The fact it's using a Cherry MX kind of mechanical keyboard, which is just like leaps and bounds ahead of everything else. So it's definitely worth it. And the FPGA is good enough to be able to run all these other machines, whereas the other ones probably aren't good enough to run this machine. So it's a great machine, and I think it deserves a good start. That's why we're doing these competitions. That's why you guys have been taking part and trying to win these things. Win the boards. Oh, that's the other point as well. These will be going out on Monday, so I've got one for Stoker ready to go, and one for Prow 7 ready to go. They will be going on Monday. So if you're in the chat, either of you, watch out for your tracking numbers on Monday. As soon as it leaves my place, I'll have tracking numbers for them. So I was going to do it this week, but I've been so busy, I just not had a chance to do it, unfortunately. But it will be out by Monday. So yeah, that's why we're doing that competition. That's why I wanted to get Luma out to give the Mega 65 a full title ready to go, and something to kind of push a little bit in the updates. Perseus is coming along nicely. There may be another Mega 65 project which I talked about a little bit. Luma, I've done Luma. I'll show you that as well. So there's another project they talked to me about doing a quick port of an existing game. I'm not going to say what game it is. I'm not going to say when it's going to happen. I'll leave that as an exercise for the Mega 65 team. But they've talked to me about porting this particular game, getting the original musician on board, and porting all the graphics over and stuff. So that may be another project that we do at some point. Pick and Mix is very close. This weekend, I'm going to do the completion screen. And then really, I'm just going to at this point, I'm kind of sick of it. I've seen it so much, and I think the mapping on it has just kind of worn me down a little bit. So I'm just going to get it kind of finished, get it out there. I'll send it to a few people to test for a little while, and then we'll just get it out there and then put it behind us and move on. I think we've all learned from it. I still think it's a great game and everything. I think it is a, we've put a lot of effort into that. It's got great kind of design and great graphics and music, and so it's a good game. It's just I've kind of seen it so much for 2 years. I'm kind of sick of it now. So this is Luma on the Mega 65. So this is running on the actual Mega 65 now. It is just Luma, but with higher res graphics. So well, it's higher resolution. So um, high resolution graphics and yeah, many more colors as well. So, but essentially, oh shit, I've screwed this up. Essentially, they're the same game. So yeah, Pick and Mix will go out soon. So this is the thing. Pick and Mix is going to go out soon, and the Game Boy game is going to go out soon. That's two games that are basically going to free up Tuesday and Saturday. Saturday will be dedicated to Mega 65 without a doubt. I may start doing some dissect streams on Tuesdays, just to kind of get back into that, because I think sometimes it's nice to just do something a bit different and not really be not really be kind of focused on bug fixing, so but just literally just go, right, what we're going to tear apart this week, and we'll just grab something and tear it apart, because I do miss doing the dissect streams, and a few people have asked me to do them again. I think they do quite well in terms of to in terms of kind of popularity, and they certainly do well for the YouTube as well. So I'll probably look at doing those sometime soon to replace the Tuesday game. And then I think by the end of the year, I'm going to get through this year. I'm almost certainly going to be moving house in November. And then when I move, I'm going to be setting up a slightly more kind of purpose built, well, not purpose built, but purpose kind of laid out area for doing streaming and stuff. So um, if I do that, then I may start streaming more frequently. I may do like 5 nights a week instead of three, and do something very focused. Like pick one game that I do 3 nights a week, and then the other 2 nights can be kind of random stuff. Um, Moving out of London, no, probably just going to be on the outskirts. It's just very expensive where I live. So I live pretty much kind of just on the outskirts of kind of Camden Town. So it costs me a lot of money to rent this place. So I want to move to somewhere where I can get a bigger place for less money. Now that working from home is probably going to be the kind of the way that we do the future. So um, next to the wine cellar, yeah, I just want to. I want to be somewhere where I can like have a lot of extra room and bigger kitchen, things like that. Just the sort of things that I crave at the moment. Storage in this place is a nightmare. I can't find anywhere to put anything. So. Okay, on that note, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. Like I say, apologies that it's taken so freaking long to add 3 lines of code, which is 2 hours worth of digging to find that. But we got there in the end, right? We got there in the end. Let's find someone to raid. Who's on? Testicles is on. Wemgy Stare is on. Moonbeam. Let's find someone new. Let's find a random person. If anybody, take a look through around Twitch. See if we can find someone random who we can raid. Uh, hmm. Okay, that's me. So I don't want to raid me. Search for Commodore. Okay, no. Videos. Okay, no. Search for retro. Maybe someone's playing Game Boy. Maybe we can go and plug the Game Boy game. Let's do that. Let's see if we can. No one's actually playing those things right now. So Should we just raid like a no viewer person? Let's find someone random to raid. Let's have a look. Let's go browse. Let's go for. Let's have a look. Who can we raid? I want to raid something. The Scoundrel M. All right, that sounds good. Who's that? See what they're doing. Dwarf Fortress. Okay, interesting. 14 viewers. Okay, let's go and do that then. Let's raid the Scoundrel M. That seems random enough for my liking. Let's stick his name in there. Is there a run stop button on the Mega 65? There is, yeah. So I've already checked all the button things. It's everything. Everything is the same. Basically, the game runs exactly as it did before. It was surprisingly easy to set up. As I say, I'll probably do a video at some point explaining what I did because it's probably of interest to people. And it would only be like a 10 to 15 minute long video. It'd be pretty easy to do, I think. Okay, cool. Let's go and raid him then. Cheers, guys. I shall see you all on Saturday, where we'll just kind of get straight into pick and mix and try and get it out there. Let's get that game finished and get it out. We can start thinking about other things. All right, take care, guys. See you on Saturday. Bye.